How do you show up as a leader in this quarantine, in this time of crisis, especially if you have a platform? How do you create the content for your community? What do you say? How do you say it? What are the frames of mind? We're gonna dive into all of this in this video, so stay tuned and we'll get started right away. Hey everyone, Wong here. I know I haven't been posting too much on this channel as well as my podcast and other social media channels, even really in the last year. And that is because our podcast agency has been growing tremendously. We run a podcast agency helping thought leaders and companies launch top 100 shows so that they can monetize and get some great leads from it. But another reason is because we didn't feel like we had the team and the people in place that I can do this content stuff way more consistently. And that's honestly what I've been really wanting to do. We had all these plans, we had a new brand design, we had all these amazing things that we wanted to launch at the end of spring, beginning of summer, that type of time frame. And look, I think a good way of summarizing everything that's been going on in the world in the last few weeks and the last few months is that great quote that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And that is probably what it feels like to be in the world right now, regardless if you have a business, regardless if you have a platform, regardless if you're in good health, and hopefully you are in good health. It just feels like no matter which industry you're in, no matter what's happening in your world, that all of our plans got a massive detour. So I just met with my team literally earlier today and we said, hey, look, the tides are changing and we could either sit here and complain about it or we could do something. We can actually change with it. And so that's the whole idea. I wanted to come on here, have a little bit of an outline, but I wanted to address the people that have platforms. So if you have a blog, if you have a podcast, if you have a YouTube channel, by the way, if you have a YouTube channel, let me know in the comment section how we can improve. I'm definitely open to some suggestions right now. But look, if you're a content creator, you have a community, an email list, people that look up to you, people that listen to you, this is the time to step up so much, just not as a thought leader, not as a business person that's trying to get, new leads and new revenues. We're going to talk about that and maybe we'll make a whole separate video right on how business leaders need to do it. But this is the time, if you have a platform, that you need to be able to create some type of content out there. And we're going to talk about that because we've been addressing this with every single one of our clients. And so here's the breakdown for this video. Very, very simple. We're going to share with you what you need to know if you're thinking about creating content in a time like this. If you have a platform, that blog, that podcast, that YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever your TikTok, whatever the channel of choice is, we're gonna talk about what you need to do. I'm gonna share with you some of my personal clients, what they're doing, some of the conversations we're having around this, all right? I'll leave you with a couple tips and tricks so you can do this in a very efficient manner, kind of one take wonder, don't overthink it, right? And bonus, if you smash the like button, I will even tell you how much it helps me in the algorithm, which, pro tip, it really does help me. So really appreciate it. All right, let's get started right now. So what do you need to know when you are creating content? I think it falls under two different categories. Number one is leadership, and number two is industry specific knowledge. Now, when it comes to leadership, I think it's easy to understand that us that have platforms, if you have some listeners, some email subscribers, people that tune in to watch you, whether it's a few hundred or a few thousand or even a few millions, we have a responsibility when you have a platform to go out, to be a voice of reason, to show up as a leader, to be confident, to show them certainty, right? I mean, we just got a massive pattern interrupt when it comes to all the news, all the negativity, everything is going down, the markets, the economy, everything is shutting down, no one's coming close, right? We need to be able to pattern interrupt in the opposite way, in a more positive way. And I'm gonna read to you this quote that I just absolutely love, but I think now more than ever, this is what leadership comes down to. The quote goes like this: "People will do anything for those that encourage their dreams, justify their fears, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies." So if you can help your community be able to do those things, articulate their dreams further, still have that vision for them, still be able to guide them to help them hit their goals, and be present, be having that confidence, being certain when you show up to your community, right? It helps them. You guys are seeing me and you're saying, hey, look, okay, right? So I could be okay as well. It's reminding them that this too shall pass. So that's the whole leadership camp side of this, right? That's that side of the content creation. I think you need to pair that with the industry specific knowledge. What do I mean by industry specific knowledge? Well, let me give you a couple examples of my clients. Some of them are in real estate. Right? So if you're in real estate, you don't have to talk about the global pandemic and COVID-19 and what's going on in the world. You have to talk about how does that impact the real estate investors? How does that impact you if you're buying a house, if you're selling a house? What about mortgage deferrals? What about tenant rights? What about landlord rights, right? That's where you got to get nitty and gritty specific to the industry standards and the industry knowledge of what's going on. Let's say we have a couple clients that are in digital marketing or in Facebook ads, right? What do I need to know about ad costs right now? What do I need to know? Is Facebook going to flag me if I say certain words? Is YouTube, what's YouTube going to do if we create content that's like this? What's Instagram? So you got to be industry specific. And if you pair this together, that is what you need to be going out into the marketplace, right? And now we have some clients that are very community focused. So they're talking directly to their community and saying, hey, look, you got to respect, you got to do what's right. They're reminding them of their company values. They're reminding them of why they're tuning into the show. For me, right, the Inner Changemaker, our podcast, we always talk about this. It's not about changing the world, but it's about how you can become the best version of yourself in moments of life that matter. It's in the intro. Those are the literal words in the intro.
Changemakers, we're modern day leaders. It's not about changing the world. Being a changemaker is about looking at the people in your life. It's about looking at your brothers and sisters. It's about looking at your parents. It's about looking at your inner circle, your friends, your associates. How can you be a better leader? How can you be someone in the community that changes their world?
Right? And so how do we step out? How do we become that change maker for those around us? And in the next couple of videos, we're going to talk about how you do this in your business, how you do this in your life. But specific to this one, this is what you need to do if you have a community, if you have a platform. And if you don't have one, this is the perfect time to start one. Do a live video, right? Like you got to get kind of nitty and gritty and you got to be able to buckle down and use your voice in a productive manner. So we talked about leadership. We talked about industry specific knowledge. We shared a couple of different case examples. Let's end with a couple of tips and tricks. I am literally sitting in my girlfriend's studio. You might have seen her, Il Mondo di Francesca. She has an amazing YouTube channel. You should check her out in the beauty space, in the Italian beauty space. And look, we came out of a meeting earlier today. I said, look, we gotta start doing this, right? And I can't worry about the lighting if it's good. I can't worry about my hair, which I already know looks good. I can't worry about what's in the background, if things are gonna be perfect. Are we gonna be mic'd up? This is not the time to try to create the perfect video, the perfect podcast, the perfect blog post. This is not the time. People need a message. They need some type of positivity. This is your time to inject yourself in that. If you don't have a platform, you got to start a platform. I'll link to some links below that could kind of help you jumpstart that. A podcast, I believe, is super easy. You don't have to be on video. You could just do it, mic, audio, your voice to your community. Start from there, right? I'll link to a few resources down below. But here's the tip. You can't get overly concerned about the quality of what you're putting out. The message matters more right now. That's really what's going on. Another tip would be to simply have a little bit of an outline, but let yourself go. Let yourself be in flow. And look, I'm not saying this method works for everybody, but it's a method that I use. And I'm not saying it's perfect for creating all the best videos and all the ones that go viral. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying have a little bit of an outline. Know kind of what you want to be able to get through. Know what your main kind of through lines are and what you want to be able to drive home, but then let yourself run a little wild. It's okay to be honest. It's okay to be authentic. These are the times where people, you can let them know and say, hey, look, I'm fearful of what's going on, but I'm still showing up, right? I'm still coming out with content. I'm still here and it's going to be okay. And it's okay for you to say that, right? And it's okay to feel like that, but it's just showing that humanness. And if you can inject that within your content, if you can have the leadership, the industry specific knowledge, right? If you can, don't worry too much about the quality. If you can think about how you can articulate your values, your beliefs, if you can have a little bit of an outline so that it gives you some place to go, but you're allowed to run wild. I think these are great ingredients of what you need to create the best content for your platform, for your community to let them know, hey, things are going to be all right. And things might not look all right now, but history has shown every single time we've gone through crisis, it's almost a little bit of a cleansing. Right? And if you are a true leader, a person that respects their platform, can see the art in what they do, then you deserve to have a platform and a stand when all this is done and said. And the way to do that is to be able to start today. It's not to worry about all those many details. So hopefully this video helped you. I love to hear from you. What type of content you are creating these days? Let me know in the comment section below. Is it podcast? Is it blog? Is it YouTube? I'd love to be able to check it out. Link to some of those so that people in this community can check it out. Let's become a bit of a community over here, and I will make sure to be a little more consistent when it comes to this. Our next video is going to be all around helping business owners navigate this crisis. What are some of the things that you need to think about? We have another video for people in your personal life. Let's say you're not a business owner, you don't have a platform. What about people in your personal life, your family and all that? We're gonna do those videos, and I can't wait to be able to share those with you. So I appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel if it's on YouTube and hit that bell. We'll talk with you very soon.